What's up, Tom Sox Nation? I'm Nick Grossman. We're back for another edition of Tom Sox Conversations. Today, our guest is Coach Karl Kuhn, head coach at Radford University. You may know him from his time spent as the pitching coach at UVA. Coach Kuhn, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you having me.
Of course. So just before we start this interview, starting more broadly speaking, what value do you see in your players playing summer ball?
Well, it's an integral part of their development. You've got young men of all ages. You can take a freshman or a first year that comes in and as a pitcher, may get 20 innings at the Division I level, and he didn't quite get as many as your weekend starters would have gotten, and he can go out in the summer and continue to develop, right, and get the innings and get to compete. You also have got guys with the same situation with that bat, right? You have a freshman who got 20, 30, 40, 50 at bats and was behind an All-American shortstop, and now he's going to be drafted, and you can continue that development. The competitive piece and the repetitions are the easy one. The part that is kind of hidden in all this is these guys getting a chance to adapt to the speed of the game and a new coach and new coaching and new things that they may be working on that they've heard for 8, 9, 10 months with the coaching staff repeatedly, but then going off and not having that coach around them, but hearing that coach's message in their own voice and in their own head, and having them to apply that message is such a big part of their development.
Yeah, it's definitely big time. So when you do send your players to a team like the Tom Sox, are you giving them any sort of specific instruction of what they should get out of the summer, or do you kind of leave it up to them to make the most of it on their own?
No, we're a pretty hands-on coaching staff, and I'm a pretty hands-on coach. So we're going to talk to the GM of the Tom Sox or any organization. We're all talk to the head coach, kind of see where they see our player fitting in, and then that's going to match with what we want our player to do, whether it would be a limiting of innings or we really want this guy to transition to third base or whatever it may be. And as long as that fits in with the organization's goals and our goals for that young man's development, then it's going to be a go. We also would send them off with a pretty regimented lifting program. And then, like I said before, things for them to work on, whether it was a new pitch or, trying to go the opposite way and hit to the opposite field more. Whatever it may be for that young man's individual development or his kryptonite that we're trying to get it not to be kryptonite for the next year, that's what we would want him to do. But we would be a pretty hands-on coaching staff with a pretty explicit group of things that we would want for them to work on in the summer.
So in that answer, you mentioned kind of controlling innings pitched and you don't want too much of a load. I've heard you're a big believer in load management. How familiar are you with the Tom Sox paired pitching method?
Well, I'm not as up to speed as I would like, but I do get email blasts and I do get a lot of information from Mr. Burton on what it is you guys are doing. But I love the fact that you guys are really the forefront of managing those pitch counts and giving these guys some serious limits. Not a lot of places do that, but the fact that you guys do obviously sets you apart. And you're in such a great place. I mean, Charlottesville is a tremendous town, right? And it's such a great experience for a young adult to leave wherever they are and to experience Charlottesville. What an outstanding opportunity for these young men to come here and be in this organization.
What do you look for in choosing summer teams to develop a relationship with as a program? And why do you think the Tom Sox are a good partner for you guys?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, I want to go back to your paired pitching method. A lot of minor league organizations, when they get their bonus guys drafted, they know that they were, number ones at the University of Virginia or Radford or Vanderbilt or wherever, right? And those guys traditionally have heavy pitch loads. So minor league organizations would take, you and me as top round draft picks, and they would piggyback them. So it's basically the same situation as what you're talking about. You're going to piggyback somebody for 50 pitches, whether it's 1 inning or 4 innings, and that's it. You're going to get them out of there. Just taking care of their investment, which I do want to say is exactly what you guys do with the investment that you are leasing from us, and your organization does that better than anybody, because you do realize that you're just getting them on loan, right? And these are our jobs, so kudos to you guys. You're not winning at all costs, but you're damn sure winning a lot as well. And I know that's why we're here. So you guys doing it the right way. And can you repeat your question again?
So just kind of what do you look for in choosing these summer ball teams to develop a relationship with as a program? Kind of, do you have any boxes you want to check off, different things that stick out to you where you're like, hey, this is a place I want to send my guys every summer?
Yeah, the first one for me is flexibility, not winning at all costs. Your needs need to be met as well as our needs, putting our players first. Just relationship, communication, upfront communication, doing what you say, saying what you mean, a good experience for our student athletes to go away. And then the criteria on the other side, the gate swings both ways. I'm not going to send anybody out that is not a respectful young man, that is not going to treat your organization, his summer parents, his opportunity to be, exposed to such a great summer environment, internships, resume building relationships. All of this is part of all of our young men's maturation and growth. It's not just baseball. Baseball is the tool that we give them the life lessons, right? So what you guys do in terms of globally, right? The all-encompassing maturation of the student athlete and the all-encompassing experience of these guys for the summer is completely unmatched.
So you seem to be pretty familiar with the Tom Sox and what we stand for as an organization. Looking back at your time with UVA, what did you notice about your players who came back having spent a summer in Charlottesville with the Sox?
Well, at first we were kind of worried that they were just going to be bored because they've been here all year, but the local guys got a chance to work out with our strength conditioning staff. They got a chance to take summer courses and either get ahead or catch up. So the convenience of that was tremendous. It takes a lot of load off of them mentally. They're going away to potentially, New York or New England. And if they need a summer course, we're having to figure out whether that's going to be done online, virtually. We have to get it cleared that it's going to be transferable back. And it just takes all of that minutia out of the mix. Not to mention they're local guys. So you get 2,000, people in Charlottesville that come out to the games for the Tom Sox, and they've got some recognizable faces there with the Cavaliers, or a young man from Charlottesville that now is playing at Radford and is coming home, right? And so they got these identifiable people that they're rooting for, and kind of like, local boys, hometown boys done good kind of thing. So it's a very, very great relationship, obviously for Virginia, but for me, being in Charlottesville for 16 years, it's like sending our players from Radford kind of home. For me, it's a home. Well, I appreciate you having me on. I miss Charlottesville as well. We've had some great memories here. Been part of a great coaching staff with Coach O'Connor and Coach McMullen, and just so many great memories. A lot of wins. Coach O'Connor's got a lot of wins under his belt, and I know Coach Mack and I, we kind of think we're responsible for a couple of them as well. And it's been such fun being a part of this community. It's been a great transition down there. And I say this whenever I speak about Charlottesville. It's hard not to cry because I'm leaving and have left, but I'm definitely trying to smile because I was here and had such a great experience, made such lifelong friends and great relationships. And the Tom Sox and Jeff Burton and that entire group that put that together is sure as heck one of them. So I'm proud to say I'm friends with all them.
Well, we certainly miss you. We appreciate all the memories you've created with the city of Charlottesville. Hope to continue to make more with that Radford, Charlottesville, Tom Sox connection. You're always welcome back in Charlottesville. So Tom Sox Nation, that's all the time we have for today. That's another edition of Tom Sox Conversations. For Tom Sox TV, I'm Nick Grossman. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. For more content like this, check out our YouTube page. And as always, go Sox.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Tom Sox Conversations. If you want more, be sure to check out the Tom Sox social media, as well as the Valley Baseball League YouTube and social media for more great content throughout the 2020 season.